Hi everybody, I'm back. Been travelling again. Got back from Turkey at the weekend, and it's lovely to be live with you. The subject is about trauma. Some of you know, some of you don't know, that actually my background is as a specialist in trauma. So even though I am a channel and I'm known as a spiritual scientist, I actually am a trauma specialist, and that was my background. So I spent many years working in child protection and with drugs and alcohol, domestic abuse, you name it. I worked with it. And it led me on a journey to actually look at patterns and how trauma actually affects our life. So I'm Susan Kennard. Thank you so much for joining me, whether you're joining me on Facebook or whether you're joining me on my YouTube channel. It would be really lovely if you could follow. Thank you. So what I want to talk about is how trauma affects you. Now, we've had a big awakening over the last couple of years, and many people are waking up to realize that their mind is not separate from their body, and that their mind, body and soul are all integrated, and we are not separate from that. And they're realizing that actually the potential of who they are, so you're realizing the potential of who you are, is absolutely incredible. Now the reason for that is because we all come in with a unique reason for being here, a unique mission, I call it. And some people call it a purpose, but I believe that our purpose is all the same. And that is to remember who we are, to remember that we're divine beings of light, and we're just choosing to be human right now. And we're here to serve and to help the collective, but not at the detriment of ourselves. Okay? Now, when it comes to trauma, if you think about yourself as this frequency, and imagine that you are emitting this particular radio wave or frequency, and this is going out to the universe or to your world, and that is reflecting back to you. So what's happening is your external world is actually being reflected back to you from the perspective of what your mirror is, so your frequency, your vibrational match. And so when we have trauma frequency, so that can be from our childhood, from situations that have happened through accidents or abuse or whatever it might be. And of course we've got our ancestral trauma epigenetically, and we've also got our past life trauma that we've brought in with us. So putting that all together, we hold that frequency within our cellular structure and therefore in our light field. Okay, so what happens then is we are projecting that out, as I said, and we're reflecting back essentially the match of what our frequency is. Okay, so just hold that for a moment and just take a deep breath. It's good to do that. So when you think about what you're attracting into your experience now, and just take a couple of moments to think about that, where is it that you're noticing patterns? So where are you noticing patterns? Is it in your relationships? Is it in your financial situation? Is it in your physical body? Do you always feel like you've got a problem with your physical body, or whatever it might be? And so when you look at that, you can actually see what is going on from the perspective of your trauma pattern. Okay, so the way that we can actually really see that is that what we're looking at is not something that we prefer. So we don't really want to be in an unhealthy relationship. We don't really want a bank balance that doesn't support us. We don't really want wherever we're living, or we don't want our body to be showing us these messages, and I'll speak about that in a moment. But we don't want that, so we're not preferring it. And that's when we know that we are releasing a frequency or emitting a frequency within our mirror of our life. Okay? And that mirror is representing the frequency that is held within us, that is an unwanted emotion. Okay? Makes sense, right? So when we have these unwanted emotions, especially if we've had them as a child in this experience, in this lifetime, then you may have heard the word empath. Okay? So what happens is when you're a child and you've had to be hypervigilant, you've had to be very conscious of other people's emotions. Perhaps you've been brought up with an alcoholic or somebody who used substances, and their moods were, out of control, and you never knew if they were going to be kind or if they were going to be unkind to you as a child. You never knew whether you were loved. There was a confusion around that. Then what happens is your spidey senses, we can call them, your real expansion had to happen so that you could be on guard and you could be, wow, what's going to happen next? Okay, so we call that hypervigilance. So you're hyper, I'm aware, hyper aware. So what happens with that is that you become really good at feeling other people's emotions. So if somebody walks in the door, perhaps when you were a child, and they were in a really bad mood, and perhaps they might smash something or something might happen that way, then you would be like, wow, I can feel when this is happening. So that's just an example. But what happens then in your adult life is that you become somebody who actually takes on other people's energies and emotions. Okay? Does that ever happen to you? Where you felt, wow, like I can really feel that person's sadness, or I can really feel the anger in that person, okay? Or, whatever it might be. And so you, as an empath, you take on that emotion, which actually is never yours, okay? So I hear this bandied around a lot, that person's an empath. It's because they're an empath. It's the empathic way. That's very true. However, you don't have to live like that, okay? You do not have to be in somebody else's energy, feeling their emotions, to be able to be of service and to support others, okay? And so the way that you do that is by clearing up all of these traumas and trauma bonds that you have with people. But the question is, how do you do that, okay? Well, it's not an overnight success, okay? But it is really, really important to start working with those parts of you that have been showing up in your world, okay? So another example would be, let's just say a relationship, okay? And whenever you're with this person, you always feel like you're arguing and they're always arguing back with you, and you never kind of ever resolve anything. Well, if you think of it as the two of you being children, if you didn't get your needs met when you were a child, you would be very angry if that person doesn't meet your needs, okay? So then you act like a child in that situation, okay? And there's no judgment with that, right? That's just how it is, okay? So you come with your suitcase and they come with their suitcase, and you bring those two suitcases together and you throw them on the floor, and you're like, well, there we are. That's exactly who we are, right? That's the symbolism, okay? It's an analogy. But essentially, when you are looking at these trauma pieces that you have, you're opening your suitcase and your case to go on holiday, and you're taking out each thing, and you're feeling it, and you're deciding whether that is a helpful emotion or a helpful belief, and you can choose whether you clean it up and put it back in your case and fold it neatly, or it just actually gets sent to the charity. Yeah, does that make sense? So is this something that kind of relates to you? Do you feel sometimes that you lose yourself in an argument, or you lose yourself with your parents and you just don't know what to say? You're like a rabbit in headlights. Or do you sometimes feel that you are, you know, with a friend and you give all your energy to the friend and you get nothing back from that friend? Yeah? Well, that's another sign that actually when you were growing up, you had to give to receive, or you felt you had to give to receive. Okay, so let's do a little process where we're going to work with a part of us, our inner child, and we're going to work with releasing a little bit of trauma. So take responsibility for yourself, and if you feel that as you're watching this, whether it's live or you're watching the replay, that it's not the time to do that, definitely don't do it if you're driving. And if you've got other people around you, you may want to do it a bit later on. But let's just see how we go with it. Okay, but before I do that with you, I just want to show you my book, which is called Awaken the Light Within Your Heart. And it's a guide to self-healing. But what is in my book and the whole of the third section is lots and lots of trauma healing processes that have been channeled to me over the years. And I put them together in this book so that you literally can heal yourself. And if you want to, you can also get it on audio version. Get it on Amazon or on my website, which is susankennard.co.uk. But on Amazon, you can get Audible, you can get Kindle, you can get hardback, and you can get softback. And so there's lots of ways that you can actually do this work with yourself. And if you feel that you would like me to work with you, then you can book a one-to-one session with me. Okay, and you can find that on my website, susankennard.co.uk. So you just scroll down and you find, it says book a session with Susan, and you'll find many different events I'm running, but there's a session on it called Ascension Pathway Session or something like that. And you can use that session for whatever you want to heal, as well as whatever the guides feel is right for you as well, with activations and all sorts of things. Okay, so let's get into this. All right, so I'm just going to see if there's anyone live so that I can see if anyone's on live. I'll turn my sound down. Okay, good. So if anyone comes on live, say hello. I've got it on my phone so I can see you. Okay, all right, let's place our hands on our heart. Take a breath. Come into your heart space. And just take this time for you. Just take this time for you. Sometimes we don't give ourselves this time. Okay, good. And I want you to imagine a beautiful golden ball of light in your heart as you breathe. And expand that light within your heart and fill every single cell of your body. Beautiful. Imagine all the cells of your body lighting up. And connect with your earth star under your feet, your soul star above your head. And imagine a beam of light coming down. This is your protective beam of light. Good. So keeping your eyes closed, I want you just to think about an area of your life where you feel that perhaps something isn't settling for you, or there's a problem, or you feel like you keep repeating the same pattern, or you feel like you haven't got any money, or there's something like that, and it makes you feel really uncomfortable. I want you just to think about that for a moment, not to dwell on it, just to get it in your mind. Okay, and maybe something that's happening with your physical body as well. Let's just hold that in your mind, okay? And now I want you to invite that little part of you that is actually holding that emotion. Okay? So think of that little part of you and invite them to step out. Now, you may be able to see them, but you may not, and that's also fine. Don't worry about it if you can't see them. But invite that little part of you to step out. And I want you to say to them, I'm so sorry that you felt so scared. I'm so sorry that you felt you were doing this all on your own. I'm so sorry that the world felt so confusing for you. I'm so sorry you felt it was your responsibility to heal the world. I'm so sorry that all you wanted was arms around you to let you know everything was okay. I'm so sorry that the world felt harsh. I'm so sorry that you felt you had to be on guard to protect yourself. I'm so sorry that you forgot. You are an incredible being of light, having a human experience. That you are always loved and looked after by the universe, by your guides, by your loved ones. I'm so honoured that you're here today so that we can heal together. And I'm going to place you in my heart where we can have so much fun creating, loving ourselves, and most of all, living our mission. So take a deep breath and just imagine that little child or baby even coming into your heart if you haven't done it already. And feel the energy expand. And now think about for a moment that situation that you have in your life, or something with your physical body, or your relationships, or where you live, or your money. Just think about it now and notice if there's a different feeling about it. Okay? And just be open to the opportunities of change. So come back to me for a moment. I hope you're feeling okay. I hope you enjoyed that. It's a very, very short process. If I was working with you individually, or if you were part of my Soul's Mission membership, which you can find out about on my website, which is susankennard.co.uk, you can find out about our soul family, where I work really intensively with my group, and we meet 5 times a month. We also have private opportunity to work with me. But if you don't feel drawn to a membership, or you don't feel drawn to a community, then know that you can work with me one-to-one. I've opened up slots. I did close them for quite a long time, but now that I've come back from traveling, I've got space in my diary to work with you and to help you release these deepest parts of your trauma. And what happens when you do that is your life truly unfolds. You know, I watch people every day transforming themselves, their relationships, their friendships, their financial situation, and most of all aligned to why they're really truly here, but without giving the power away. So when you hold your trauma, don't judge the fact that things aren't working in your life. Just know that there's a little bit of you, a tiny piece of you, maybe a child part of you, that did not feel safe in this world, forgot that they were connected, and thought that they were doing it all on their own. So I hope you've enjoyed today. It's been really amazing to be with you. I'm just going to see who's here live so that I can really send my love to you. Oh, Torgan, lovely to see you. Lansing's in my soul family. Cheryl, lovely to see you. Pammy is in my soul family as well. Lovely to see you too. Yeah. So when we think about, you know, what is going on in the universe, you know, we've got so many shifts going on. Venus in retrograde. We're looking at what we love, and what the key thing is to truly love ourselves. And if we give our power away because of experiences that we've had as a child, then we're no longer able to receive those beautiful gifts from the universe. So those opportunities and those downloads that we're being given all the time, we can't hear them if our energy field is cluttered with pieces of dust that are being reflected out, so that we reflect back a situation that is clouded and not through clarity. So I'm just being reminded from my guides to tell you that very soon we're going to be launching a mediumship class. So this mediumship class is going to be 9 weeks. I'm going to work with a very small group. I've been a medium for 30 years. That's kind of where I started my journey. And you can read about my awakening in my book, actually. But I'm going to run a 9-week program where I'm going to take you from your mediumship abilities, your basic abilities, to becoming a professional medium. I was trained by the best, and at the College of Psychic Studies in London and at the SAGB in London, and I was trained really, really well. And so I will give you my recipe of working as a medium, so that you are doing it in a sacred way with clear messages, clear evidence, and you will be known as somebody who is a medium with integrity. And that's truly what I want for people who want to be a medium. And this is also for anybody who would like to just really refine their abilities. You know, that you're already a medium maybe, and you're an amazing medium, but you feel like you would like to have an even better connection or even better clarity with the messages that you're giving, and how to really give good evidence of survival. So if you're interested in that, I have got several people already interested, but if you're interested in that, then pop a message to me either on Facebook Messenger, or you can email me at susan@susankennard.co.uk, or if you go onto my website, you can click, there's a box where you can put your name and email, sign up to my newsletter, because that is going to be the first place that I'm going to announce the dates for it, the cost of it, what you're going to get for it, and what you're going to end up with at the end. So if you want to join my newsletter, if you're not really already on my newsletter, you get a free video course as well, Awaken the Light Within, which is actually working with your guides, working with intuition to listen to your body, lots and lots of things. So you can sign up to my newsletter and you get the free video course and a meditation as well, the Halls of Learning. And you also will be the first to know about the dates of the mediumship class. Okay, so much love. I'm just seeing, oh, Vanessa's here as well. Hi Vanessa. Hi, lovely. Yeah, so yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Vanessa. So if you would like to share this video, I'm really happy for you to share it wherever you would like to share it. If it helps somebody to release some trauma that they've held for a long time and do this process, and please just share it widely. And also, there are many people that, you know, can't afford to go on courses, they can't afford to have private one-on-one sessions or even join a soul family like we have. So doing these videos and on my YouTube channel as well, which is just my name, Susan Kennard, that's why I do these videos. And every Friday there is a 5-minute frequency tune-up with the Galactics, or, you know, the Ascended Masters, and that's pre-recorded and it goes out at 7:30 a.m. UK. So just adjust that time to wherever you are on the planet, wherever you are in the world. And every single Friday there is a very short 5-minute frequency that you can also benefit from, which really helps activations within your field, messages from the Ascended Masters or the Galactics, whoever comes through, and lots of healing. Okay, so much love for now. Thank you so much for joining me live if you're live, and thank you so much for joining me on the replay. And I will see you very soon. Let me know how you're feeling after this process. Thank you. Bye for now.